I hope you guys are doing fine. I welcome you all to the day 20 of CA Inter question series, and today's topic is Essay 505 External Confirmation. So let's get started.
Question number 1 is, when using external confirmation procedures, the auditor shall maintain control over external confirmation requests, including sending the request, follow-up requests when applicable to the confirming party. Explain the other points as to when using external confirmation procedures, the auditor would be required to maintain control over external confirmation requests. एक्सटर्नल कन्फर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट के लिए ऑडिटर कौन कौन से कंट्रोल मेंटेन करेगा? सबसे पहले तो यही करेगा कि कौन सा इन्फॉर्मेशन है जिसके लिए रिक्वेस्ट करना है और कन्फर्मेशन चाहिए. सेकंड में एप्रोप्रिएट कन्फर्मिंग पार्टी सिलेक्ट करेगा. थर्ड में कन्फर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट डिज़ाइन करेगा. उसमें वो सारे क्वेश्चंस और सारी जो भी प्रॉपरली चीज़ें उसको रिक्वायर्ड हैं वो एड्रेस करेगा और ये भी मेंशन करेगा कि कंफर्मिंग पार्टी को उस रिक्वेस्ट पे रिस्पॉन्स कैसे करना है. और लास्ट में रिक्वेस्ट सेंड कर देगा, इंक्लूडिंग फॉलोअप रिक्वेस्ट अगर एप्लीकेबल है तो. क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 इज़, व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स टू बी कंसिडर्ड व्हाइल डिज़ाइनिंग अ कंफर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट? फैक्टर्स जो ऑडिटर कंसिडर करेगा तो उसमें सबसे पहले आएगा जो भी उसने एरियाज़ उसने आइडेंटिफाई करे हैं जहाँ पे रिस्क ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट ज़्यादा है, इसमें फ्रॉड रिस्क भी इंक्लूड करेगा वो. सेकंड में वो देखेगा उसका लेआउट और प्रेजेंटेशन कैसा होना चाहिए कंफर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट का. अगर उसको कोई प्रायर एक्सपीरियंस है सिमिलर एंगेजमेंट का तो वो उसको भी यूज़ करेगा. नेक्स्ट में असर्शंस जो एड्रेस करने हैं वो. नेक्स्ट ही विल कंसिडर मेथड ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन. अब उसको पेपर फॉर्म में चाहिए या इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मोड में लाइक ईमेल या फिर कोई अदर मीडियम पे, तो वो कंसिडर करेगा. नेक्स्ट, मैनेजमेंट्स ऑथराइजेशन और एनकरेजमेंट टू द कन्फर्मिंग पार्टीज़ टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू द ऑडिटर. कन्फर्मिंग पार्टी हो सकता है तभी उस कन्फर्मेशन रिक्वेस्ट पे रिस्पॉन्ड करे जब उनके पास मैनेजमेंट की ऑथराइजेशन हो. एंड इन लास्ट वी हैव द एबिलिटी ऑफ द इंटेंडेड कन्फर्मिंग पार्टी to confirm or provide the requested information. Question number 3 is, external confirmation procedures frequently are relevant when addressing assertions associated with account balances and their elements, but need not be restricted to these items. Apart from confirmations for bank balances and accounts receivables, what are the other situations where external confirmation procedures may provide relevant audit evidence in responding to assessed risk of material misstatement? Other examples of situations where external confirmations may be used include the following. First, inventories held by third parties at bonded warehouses for processing or on consignment. Second, property title deeds held by lawyers or financiers for safe custody or as security. Third, investments held for safekeeping by third parties or purchases from stockbrokers but not delivered at the balance sheet date. Fourth, amounts due to lenders including relevant terms of repayment and restrictive covenants. Next is accounts payable balances and terms. Last is long outstanding share application money. Question number 4 is, on reviewing schedules of trade receivables of a company, CA Mary finds that in respect of one outstanding balance, the CFO of the company is not willing to allow her to send external confirmation request due to reason that sending out such request could spoil preciously placed business relations with the customer. On further inquiry, she finds out that there is a dispute going on with the company relating to some quality issues of goods and matter is sub judice. Efforts are also being made by the company for out of the court settlement. Reviewing correspondence with the customer, she finds that issue is near resolution and no fraud risk factor exists. Is unwillingness of the CFO justifiable? In terms of requirements of SA 505, if management refuses to allow the auditor to send a confirmation request, the auditor shall inquire as to management's reasons for the refusal and seek audit evidence as to their validity and reasonableness. A common reason advanced is the existence of a legal dispute or ongoing negotiation with the intended confirming party. the resolution of which may be affected by an ultimately confirmation request. Further, fraud risk factors do not exist. Keeping in view unwillingness of CFO is justifiable. Question number 5 is the newly appointed auditor of BT and Limited wants to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence about whether the opening balances contain misstatements that materially affect the current period's financial statements. What audit procedures should he perform for this purpose? The auditor of BT and Limited shall obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence about whether the opening balances contain misstatements that materially affect the current period's financial statements by first determining whether the prior period's closing balances have been correctly brought forward to the current period, or when appropriate, any adjustments have been disclosed as prior period items in the current year's statement of profit and loss. Second, determining whether the opening balances reflect the application of appropriate accounting policies. And third is performing one or more of the following. When the prior year financial statements were audited, pursuing the copies of the audited financial statements, including the other relevant documents relating to the prior period financial statements. Second, evaluating whether audit procedures performed in the current period provide evidence relevant to the opening balances, or performing specific audit procedures to obtain evidence regarding the opening balances.
I hope you guys enjoyed and found this video helpful. Do write your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video with new chapters and new questions. तब तक मेहनत करते रहें और आगे बढ़ते रहें.